Well, here we are at the North Star. Here we go. Well, this is the perfect place to do the North Star experience with Mykonos behind. Join me as I show you the highlights of our day at Mykonos aboard the Odyssey of the Seas. Let's go! Hey there fellow cruisers, this is Ken and welcome to my channel, Ken Travels 360. It's day 5 of our incredible Greek island cruise aboard the magnificent Odyssey of the Seas, and today we find ourselves docked at Mykonos. Mykonos, like Santorini, is one of the most touristic Greek islands, and it's not hard to see why as we prepare to get off to visit this picture-perfect paradise Aegean island. I woke up very early this morning and I saw a beautiful sunrise with the sun ascending behind Mykonos Island. It's actually still 7:30, so we're gonna go up to have breakfast first. Today, there are quite a few cruise ships at Mykonos, and there is only one port over there. So only one ship can use it. If you're allocated that port, then you will have to take a shuttle bus to get to the main town. For us, Odyssey of the Seas is docked at the tender port today. That means we are going to have to take a tender boat again in order to reach Hora, the main town of Mykonos Island. However, before we do that, we're actually going to go up to do the North Star experience first. We've chosen exactly this place to do it instead of other ports because it's such a beautiful place. It looks like most people have already gone out to Mykonos, and the top deck is totally deserted as a result. Well, here we are at the North Star. We've booked the 9:30 slot, but we're here early. But the 9:15 one is not full, so we managed to get in one earlier now. That's great, more time at Mykonos. Here we go, we are going into the North Star. Right, the door has closed. As you may have seen before in my previous videos, North Star is basically a glass enclosed capsule attached to an arm that can raise it high above the ship. As we gradually ascend, the perspective starts to change. Keep in mind that you have the opportunity to experience the North Star for free once throughout the entire cruise, specifically on port days. You can secure your preferred time slot as soon as you board the ship. During these complimentary sessions, the North Star moves only up and down. As the North Star continues to rise, we are starting to see the whole top deck of Odyssey. For an enhanced experience, you can book a paid session available on sea days. It lasts longer and it also moves sideways too, so you can see the ship from a unique perspective. The booking for these paid sessions opened well before 45 days before the cruise, and on our sailing, all the slots were sold out well before the cruise. But this is the perfect place to do the North Star experience with Mykonos behind, the beautiful village of Hora of Mykonos. You can see the ship. Soon, we've reached the top, and from there, we can see other cruise ships. Today, we've got Explorer of the Seas and Disney Dream. Today, we've got a very special ship called Celestial Crystal, which is actually a 43-year-old ship that started life as a passenger ferry in 1980 and was then converted into a cruise ship in 1986. Since then, it's been destroyed by fire, partially sunk, renamed 5 times, and owned by 5 different cruise lines. Wow, you do get a fantastic bird's eye view up here. Just when you've taken in all the stunning panorama, the North Star starts to descend already, and the world below gradually comes back into focus. Right, we just left the observation port of North Star, and from the exit area, you can still get pretty good panoramic views. Okay, I think Mykonos is calling us now. Let's go get ready and get off the ship. Here's Explorer of the Seas again, and also Disney Dream. We saw both of them earlier from the top of North Star. So that North Star experience was magnificent. We're now ready to go down to deck 4 to get our tender boats now. We're ready for Mykonos. Right, we are joining the tender boats to get onto the Mykonos island now.
Big step, one by one.
So we're now on the tender boat getting to Mykonos, and Odyssey of the Sea is just behind us. Welcome to Mykonos. As you can see, we've just arrived in the beautiful Greek island of Mykonos. We're now going to walk to the old town to explore. From the old port, you can find ferries to the nearby island of Delos. It costs 22 euros round trip. I definitely recommend visiting it if you have never been there before. When we last visited Mykonos in 2015, we did spend a day at Delos, and you can see from the photos that we had a great time. On Delos, you will see ancient ruins, the iconic marble lions, which are probably the most photographed attractions on Delos, as well as the ancient theatre. By the way, if your cruise ship docks at the new cruise port at Toulouse, then you could take a sea bus which takes you here to the old port. They depart every 30 minutes and the trip costs 2 euros each way. So in some way, it's better if your ship docks at the tender port, as you can get the free tender boats provided by the cruise line. Just next to the cruise port and before the entrance to the town, you can find a very small sand beach. After a short walk from the tender port, we have arrived at Hora, which means main town in Greek. So we're gonna have a look at this town. The whitewashed alleyways of the old town make for a magnificent backdrop for photographers and Instagrammers. Pretty white houses are spruced up with beautiful pink bougainvillea flowers in the summer. These narrow alleyways are mostly closed to traffic, so you can pose or take photos without worrying about passing cars. Just like Santorini, don't expect an idyllic Greek island with no other people. And when you visit it in summer, it's going to be full of other cruises. So beware that when you're strolling around these beautiful white alleys in Hora, you'll get hopelessly lost because your Google Map just wouldn't work. Over here, you have the Meeting Restaurant. We were here 8 years ago and I remember we had dinner here. It was really good. There is a beautiful red dome church here, but now it's part of Gucci. So there's a little Greek Orthodox church here. There's a very nice Catholic church here with beautiful blue dome at the top. So we're gonna head up to the windmills. Here you can get a very good view of our ship, Odyssey of the Seas, as well as the Explorer of the Seas behind it. Right, we are now at the windmills of Mykonos. These iconic windmills are set on top of a hill just outside Hora, and they are like the celebrities of the island, attracting visitors from all over the world. These picturesque windmills are not just for show though. They were originally built in the 16th century and serve as an integral part of Mykonos' agricultural economy. Back in the days, they were used to grind wheat and barley into flour, which was a vital resource for the island's survival. Nowadays, the windmills may not be grinding grain anymore, but they stand tall as a symbol of Mykonos' heritage and a picturesque backdrop for your holiday snapshots. With their distinctive round shape, whitewashed exteriors and pointed roofs, they are like little beacons of charm, beckoning you to come closer and immerse yourself in their timeless beauty. If you have been enjoying this video so far and find it informative or entertaining, I kindly ask you to show support by taking a moment to engage with the content. Give it a thumbs up if you like what you saw. Leave me a comment to let me know what you think and share it with your friends who share the same passion for travel. And if you haven't done so already, consider subscribing to my channel with notifications enabled. By doing so, you won't miss a future video from me. Thank you for your support. Here's a fun fact. Did you know that the windmills were strategically built facing the northern winds? This is why it can often be quite windy up here. While you're up here, check out the panorama around. From here, you can see Little Venice too. Now, let me introduce you to a local celebrity, Petros the Pelican. Legend has it that back in the 50s, a pelican named Petros made Mykonos his home, and he became quite the socialite. The original Petros passed away years ago and has been replaced with not just one, but 3 pelicans, so you have more of a chance to bump into the famous bird. We didn't spot him on this trip, but we did when we came here 8 years ago. Next up, we'll visit Little Venice, a charming neighborhood right here in Mykonos. It got its name because the buildings here are built right up to the water's edge, giving it that romantic Venetian vibe. Whitewashed buildings then go over the edge of the island, seemingly built on sea rocks right above the sea. It's the perfect spot to grab a drink, soak up the atmosphere, and maybe even catch a stunning sunset. In Little Venice, there's a fascinating spot you shouldn't miss, the patio area of Negrita Bar. It's actually a busy pathway in this area where you can watch waves crash against the rocks and onto the path. It's what I call the splash zone, a moniker that's fitting as countless unsuspecting tourists have been surprised by the waves and ended up getting wet. Mykonos locals will tell you that the island has 365 churches, one for each day of the year. But there are none more famous than the whitewashed Byzantine Church of Panagia Paraportiani, the Virgin Mary Church. The complex actually contains 5 churches, the Panagia being the only one to occupy the 2nd level. This looks almost like a snow castle to me. It's so white. Oh, here is the famous Blue Dome Church in Mykonos. Well, let's head inside the Blue Dome Church to see what it is inside. It's a classical Greek Orthodox church. Well, it's now 1 o'clock in the afternoon and the town horror is, well, literally a horror. It's full of cruisers around here and many other tourists. So we decided to go back to the ship to have lunch and maybe rest up a bit. Then perhaps around 3 o'clock we can come out to have a look at the afternoon sun at Little Venice. After getting back to Odyssey, we made our way to the top deck to secure a couple of sun lounges. Then we got some lunch from El Loco Fresh, followed by a delightful soft serve from Sprinkles. After some lunch, some refreshment and a rest and some sunbathing, we're going out for an afternoon session of Mykonos now. This time, there was absolutely no queuing for the tender boat, and we had the entire aft session of the tender boats all to ourselves, and that's perfect for capturing some amazing videos of this quick boat trip. So here we are in Mykonos again. This was actually very nice, taking the tender boat the second time, because this time there was nobody else. It was like our private tender boat, and I really enjoyed going back to the ship to have some lunch and refreshment and a rest before going on back out for the afternoon session. This is much better than staying the whole day out, getting all exhausted. Given that we have visited all the attractions that we wanted to see, the main appeal of coming out again in the afternoon is a substantially smaller crowd, as many cruisers have by this stage returned to their ship. The windmills are now almost devoid of tourists, and we could now take photos without getting dozens of other people in the shots. We mused about getting a drink in one of the bars in Little Venice, but they're actually charging more than Royal Caribbean, so we decided against it. Instead, we are gonna return to the ship and freshen up before dinner. So tonight is Italian night. I probably will have carpaccio, the beef carpaccio to start. For the main course, the head waiter has actually offered us a filet mignon on the house today for some service recovery. So we'll have that. And for dessert, we'll probably have tiramisu. So because we are having the filet mignon, we both order a glass of red wine as well. So our glass of Malbec has arrived, and because we are gold member, we get 50% off for our first 2 glasses. My starter has arrived. It's the beef carpaccio, and Steve ordered the arancini today. Our dinner has arrived. It's the filet mignon. It was on the house, and I'm gonna get some sauce as well. Wow, the filet mignon was excellent, much better than the normal rib-eye steak. Unfortunately, you have to pay extra normally to get a good steak like this. So our first dessert has arrived. It's the chocolate and hazelnut cake, and the second one has arrived. It's the tiramisu. Let's see which one is better. Right, I have tried a bit of both of the dessert now. The chocolate and hazelnut cake was very good at first, but once I got to the inside, it feels a bit more ordinary, but still quite good. The tiramisu, I thought it's not coffee enough. It's quite sweet and quite nice, but it should have more coffee taste, but overall it's okay. Tonight's show will be the Triple H Beatlemaniacs. Right, after the Beatlemaniac, it's time to rush from the theatre to 270 for another show, The Book. At this moment, they experienced a technical glitch, which was a shame as that disrupted the suspense of the show. It's the second time something like this has happened on consecutive Royal Caribbean cruises, which is rather unfortunate. Eventually, they fixed the issue, but they would not do that chapter again. Instead, they will proceed to the final chapter. And that's the end of the book. I've really enjoyed this day 5 of our cruise. We had a great stay at Mykonos, followed by an entertaining evening back on the ship. I hope you enjoyed watching this video. If you would like to see what happened on other days of this cruise, click on one of these videos suggested now. See you over there.